why is it that you feel more alone as a teenager than at any point in your life, especially when during that age we have the most friends? Well, I think I have the answer here in my 7 life lessons for teenagers. 1, nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. I saw this video by another creator by the name of Ali Abdal. I'm sure he made a video on 21 life lessons for teenagers, and there's one point that stuck with me. Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. And at first I could not figure out why this hit so close to home, and then it clicked.
Kids, your grandma always used to say to me, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. And she was right. When 2 a.m. rolls around, just go home and go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Ted Mosby, the fictional character of the show How I Met Your Mother, the guy that I felt so close to, even though he was fake on a TV show, this was someone that I related to more than anyone. He was alone while finding himself, while looking for love. And why I think I understood Ted so much is because he was a character that I wanted to grow out of. And in this one episode that Ali is quoting, Ted's mom...
Ted, what does your mom always say?
Nothing good ever...
Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. Go home, it's too late for juice.
A.M.
Hey, it's time for bed.
What? No, it's 2:30.
And nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m.
When it's after 2 a.m., just go to sleep.
After this episode, everyone goes to bed with this gut feeling of guilt in their stomach. This is too good not to have on my list. Just go to bed too. Everyone thinks their life is over when they're 16. It's true. If you're watching this and you're no longer in your teens, then I'm sure you could vouch for this. Every one of my friends that I've spoke to say that when they were the age of between 16 and 18, they all thought it was the hardest point of their lives, even though they haven't lived the rest of their life. And it was a point where they felt like they couldn't make it out of it. So you're not alone. And I think it's because we experience the most change. At that age, we need to choose a career, your path to study in college, balance, school, life, work, parents, family, puberty, a lot of teens, and maybe your first love and first heartbreak. And you're doing all of this while trying to keep it together, trying to figure out the world while we have the access to it at our fingertips through our phone. You can be getting caught up in everything online, and maybe you could be getting canceled online. It can feel like the whole entire world is against you, but it isn't. It's just you. There was a time I thought my life was over when I was 16, and it was because there was this stupid little mistake I made, but it wasn't little until this day. I still get embarrassed to the point where I just want to close my eyes and have it just all be over. But then I open them and I realize that I'm still here. And it wasn't until I was 24 where I realized how thankful I was that I'm still here, that I can still open my eyes. I will never know what you're going through, but I can tell you it's worth it to keep going. 3, don't be perfect. Be good enough. Okay? Don't go ratting me out to your mom. Wait for it. This is very homework specific, which doesn't make it any better. I was never good at school. I was a very ADHD filled kid, and I could not sit still. I mean, in grade 5, I got 22 days of recess. That's all. It's because every time I wanted to answer a question in class, or like instead of raising my hand, I stood up and I walked around to answer it. So to solve that, what the teacher did is they sent me to the principal's office to write lines, the ADHD kid to sit down and write lines. Yeah, and I guess it worked. Because now I do my homework and I'm scared to get into trouble because, well, trauma. But to my point, I applied the to be good enough and not perfect in school. Because as someone that was not good in school and did not necessarily want to learn, I was never going to be the person to perfect my homework. But if I didn't start it, then I would never finish it. So I just was good enough. School is important and it truly does matter. So my advice is, if you ever get homework that's assigned to you, do it right away. Just do it really quick. Do it so it's good enough. Do the one pass over, just have it done. Don't fail. It's too easy to fail. And then that way it's off your plate. And at the end of the day, when you feel like you have more time, because you've already done your homework, you've played, you went outside and hung out with your friends, now you're home. You can sit down and you could perfect it if you wanted to. You could think about it throughout the day and then come back and answer it. But it's a lot harder to do that when the page is empty. 4 set goals for yourself. I grew up a hockey player and I beat myself up every single day because I wasn't good enough to do it as my career. And I look back closer at that, and the reason why I didn't succeed is because I never set a goal and I just dreamt of it. There was no game plan, there's no schedule, there was no routine. If there was free ice, I was showing up for practice. I was just doing as much as I could, but I wasn't going. Beyond, I was just hoping for the best, but the best don't become the best. With hope, they get there because of hard work and dedication. I know majority of you have never played hockey. You probably never even put on skates or seen ice, but this still applies a dream. Isn't good enough. Action needs to be present. Number 5, learn to stand up for yourself. I was a very shy kid growing up. I was embarrassed to speak up, let alone stand up. There was so many times where I got yelled at by a teacher for misunderstanding, and I just took it as the punishment. I just let it happen because I was so scared. I was so embarrassed. My cheeks got red, and then when somebody pointed that out, they got even redder, and then I just started sweating. My hands got clammy, and I just wanted to close my eyes and disappear. And I'm not saying if there's a bully there, fight them, but just to fight for what you believe in, and not just for what you hear on the internet, but something that actually affects your life. You deserve to be heard, and you deserve to stand your ground so that you can walk through your life. Proud six shower. No, seriously. Shower hygiene is not only one of the most attractive things, but is the thing that can help you feel more confident. Wear deodorant, brush. If your hair cut your fingernails, wash your butt. Yes, I said butt. Also, if you're watching this and you're not a teenager specifically, I have a question for you. Comment below, when was the last time you washed your legs, and not just let the water drip down, but like actually scrub them. Now, I can't say shower without telling you that I was teased for being a hygienic kid growing up, especially being a boy. Being a dirty boy was being a boy, but I was clean. But I can confidently say the people that made fun of me for being clean smell like that I-7, the most important one, the one thing that I actually did as a teen and not something that I just look back wishing. I did ask yourself how you were doing. Check in with yourself. Write a journal. Tell your mom. Talk to your friends. I also oddly look in the mirror and say, how are you? And I force myself to respond back. Sometimes I was good. Sometimes I was bad. Sometimes I was me. Yeah, just me. But I want to know, how do you feel about all of this? All the points that I said today, this topic in general. You, the viewer, I asked my broadcast channel on Instagram to answer these 3 questions, and the results weren't shocking, but rather interesting. Out of the 500 view that submitted, here's the data. 1, were you happy as a teenager? 59% of you said, no, you were not happy. 41% kind of you said, yes, you were happy. But here's where I find it gets interesting. 41% of teens saying that they're happy is a lot higher than I was expecting. Especially when I asked question 2, did you feel alone growing? 13.7% of you said, no, I did not feel alone as a teenager. And a whopping 86.3% said, yes, I felt alone as a teenager and I feel bad. But this leaves me confused. So I want to ask you one more question. And for the comments, why do you feel so alone, but that doesn't translate to being unhappy? And the final question I asked 3, what is one piece of advice that you would give to teenage you now? I got 500 submissions, but here there are some similarities. Overthinking. Stop overthinking. And just be patient. Be yourself. Be you authentic. It is important. And then if you have people around, well, it's through the relationship of any form. But if you are fake people, you will attract. Will only be the ones who stay temporarily with you. Just be you. And, right, people will be in your life. And lastly, block out the hate. Don't listen to what others have to say to you and do your own things. If you listen to others too much, you will really suffer from this later. It's your life, so live it the way you want it. It's pretty good. And even though these answers aren't exactly about like happy things, they all had one thing in common: care. Yes, care. You care. You are watching this video because you care about yourself. You care about who you are and how you're doing. And I know, yeah, you care about yourself, but you also care about others enough to share a vulnerable experience that is obviously personal to you. And to be honest, I'm proud of that. I'm just a random 27-year-old on the internet. But whether you are a teenager now or adult, you looking back, I think you want to become a version of yourself that isn't perfect, but good enough. Or maybe you're watching this after 2 a.m. and, well, say it with me, go to bed, stay you.